Hello, alright, we're live?
Hello?
Hello everyone, and welcome to 4 Pixels. Coco and Moon are here. Kime is also here, but she is currently having some trouble with her mic, so while she fixes that, we're going to go ahead and continue. Hello, Care.
Oh good, it started me at the part where it's doing all those biblical sort of epithets. It's a psalm. That's right, it's a psalm. What does a psalm mean, Coco?
I could not tell you that. That knowledge has escaped my brain from long ago. I just know that it is sort of like a song.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. This man has the angiest face. Kime, I will read from here, question mark.
Uh-oh, what is going on now?
Are you having trouble with your game?
Nah, something else was. Alright, well that's good. It's showing this again so folks can...
So I'll read the old dude.
Alright, and this goes by so quickly, so I'll just let folks read it.
Yeah, have fun with trying to read that fucking speedrun psalm there, kids. Like, I could not read it myself.
Oh, and usual warnings for this visual novel if you are at all familiar with the original one. This is a collection of stories. Right now we are on a story that's a prequel. Same content warnings as that game, so there may be scenes of gore, torture, a lot of other sort of topics you can find in gothic novels, potentially incest, For the most part, the game handles most of the things well. One thing they do not handle well is a certain character being attracted to a minor. That's not good.
Yeah.
But
a certain character being a pedophile.
Yes,
specifically only for one girl.
Hopefully we are past the majority of that bit.
Yeah, one would hope. Oops. Okay, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard someone join. Hello? Kime, are you stuck still? Yeah, okay. Alright. 'Tis a great shame what happened to Ginevra.
The post-revolution merrymaking continued into the wee hours of the morning. After things settled down and the men returned to the city, an elderly man calling himself Odilon showed himself before me. It looks like
Odilon.
Let me just quickly Google how that is pronounced. Pronunciation. Yes, his name is Jacobo, or Jacobo.
.com.
Is it of a significance? Arisa?
Odilon.
Odilon.
Odilon? Okay.
Odilon.
Odilon. Yes. Odilon.
Odilon.
An elderly man calling himself Odilon showed himself before me. Despite his evident age, the man stood tall and spoke in a clear, confident voice. It's an Italian pronunciation. Looking into his deep, sapphire eyes, I felt as though I could see everything he had borne witness to in these walls, engraved within them.
Goodness.
Odilon revealed himself as an ally of the revolution, and as having been in contact with Ginevra.
Had things proceeded as initially planned, she was to take power and build the land anew with my assistance. But great change is never without its cost. Nevertheless, I am unspeakably grateful for how swiftly you managed to dethrone the former lord. Without your heroic efforts, we would still
Enough of the ass-kissing. Tell me who you are and exactly what you're hoping to get out of me.
No need to be so apprehensive, I assure you. I'm more than happy to tell you everything you wish to know. I served as consul to the late Lord Jean-Francois Bonnier, and 'twas I who aided the revolution from within the manor's walls, coordinated with Ginevra on the outside.
So that'd make you the one who ordered the gates opened for us, then.
Verily. Furthermore, I arranged to have a number of the guards turn coat.
Well, you did fine work. We would have lost a lot more men without your efforts. I have to ask, though, where were you while it was actually happening? I don't recall seeing you anywhere.
I took the liberty of finding myself shelter.
How fortunate for you to be able to kick back and watch, only to crawl out of your hole after we relieved the lord of his head. He's an old man. What do you expect him to do?
I'm clearly fight. Might you, perchance, be suggesting this old bag of bones take up the blade? I would only serve as an impediment.
Hello?
Kime!
Hello, May.
Yeah, sorry, my Discord, I don't know, like, microphone went, just started failing, and, like, it took forever to fix for some reason, and then I actually been here for, like, 2 minutes, but, like, my Discord was so fucked up, like, I will hear you go to, like, speak all over each other, but, like, reading the phrases, so I was like, what's going on?
So it was like lagged out. Interesting. Are you ready?
Okay,
You
but
got
now
it.
I'm here. I just gotta catch up. Blah, blah, blah.
Two men are yelling at each other.
Okay. Which line are you? Are you in? Enough with the ass kissing?
I would only serve as an... further than that.
Yeah, we're at Odilon's line. I would only serve as an impediment to your success. Because he's like, you fucking want an old dude to fight for you? Get out of here.
Okay, let me get there. Yeah, what's going on? Come on, computer, you can do this. Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm on the
Take it, Moon.
I would only serve as an impediment to your success. 30 years ago, mayhap, but hardly could I point a sword straight.
serve as an impediment to you.
You got it? Kime?
Discord's killing
Oh,
Kime.
Kime was murdered again.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Kime?
You might want to Kime, you might want to restart. This isn't working.
Sounds like you're going down a hole.
Restart what exactly though? That is the question.
Like maybe your entire computer, because you're clearly like 30 seconds behind us. And
Okay.
Let me try restarting Discord.
Okay. Poor Kime.
let us continue.
Okay.
Where?
30 years ago, mayhap, but hardly could I point a sword straight today. Mostly because I discovered I'm gay. Or perhaps you would say that I, as a supporter of your cause, should have been present for the occasion regardless. I hit config while I was trying to advance dialogue. But of little aid I would have been, merely dying a fool's death, becoming naught but another body upon which the living would trek.
You're skilled with your words, old man.
Thank you, I'm trying to write a book. Of course, 'tis my job. There is but one service I can provide you. My knowledge.
Knowledge? Meaning you intend to continue to serve as the Lord's consul?
For what other reason would I lend my hand to this revolution? Kime?
You expect me to just take your word to trust you?
Surely you're aware that you cannot rightfully govern this territory without the acknowledgement of the neighboring counts and the king. I have knowledge and connections which would prove invaluable in establishing you as legitimate and qualified to inherit the throne.
Yes, I know. I did not saunter into here blind. They still haven't figured out how I would accomplish that, but... Wait. I recognize you from somewhere. I remember. You were here during the revolt 3 years ago. You're the one who helped Banya escape.
Hello.
There you are. Hi. We've advanced dialogue slightly.
Yeah. No, I actually catch up. I was listening like
Okay.
I don't know,
Alright.
10 seconds ago.
Okay. 'Twas indeed I.
Go ahead and take over then.
Yeah. That's all the more reason not to trust you. You sat back and watched, not a damn peep, as that clown of a lord left his people to rot. Like hell I'm letting you be my consul?
You're an astute young man, but still far too green for your own good. And you fail to fully separate yourself from your old life.
Excuse me?
I assure you, I was no more fond of Lord Bonnier's predilections than you. But as I am sure you are aware, he was quick to send his opponents off to the gallows. And he would be no more merciful to his consul than a slum dweller. My objections would have ensured but one thing, a swift, meaningless death. Moreover, you knew it was not yet time and stayed your hand. Nay, I too had reached the same conclusion and was awaiting the appropriate time. The perfect time to rearrange the board. You must dispense of the childish emotion that controls you, act exclusively in service of that which most benefits you. And you cannot do so without someone to guide you. You are still merely a fledgling, young man. You know not you know not up from down in this vast new world. And you have neither an army nor the weapons with which to defend yourself. Should you go out into that world unaccompanied, it will snap your neck before you feel the hands upon your skin.
And what benefits are you hoping to reap from this? You're not acting out of a love for the people, that much is obvious.
A chance to fulfill my duties as consul to the Lord. My expertise went largely unused under Lord Bonnier's rule. 'Twas a deeply frustrating time for me. Though if I may be blunt, perhaps I should say that I would like to die knowing I have accomplished something worthwhile with my life. I can promise you I have no intention of mistreating the people for my own personal amusement.
You've still given me no reason to actually trust you.
Allow my work to speak for my words. Allow me to proffer unto you my knowledge, that it might be of service to you.
I don't completely trust this man, nor do I think I ever will. He's after something. Probably wants to use me as a puppet under the guise of assisting me as my consul. He makes a good point, though. I'll need someone to show me the ropes if I want any chance of governing effectively.
Have you come to a decision?
Okay. It's a pleasure to have you, Odilon.
At your service.
That said, try anything and you'll be out of the door faster than you can blink.
Understood.
Good.
Now, if I may, I'd like to offer my first instruction.
And what will that be?
You will need to make a formal proclamation, of your succession. There are still many among your people who know not who you are. Thus, you must declare yourself the rightful heir, the lost son of Lord Bonnier's predecessor. You must assume a new name.
Say again.
The name by which you were known before is but a veil behind which you guarded your noble identity. And the time has come now for you to reclaim your true self.
Hold on a second. I'm not...
Yes, I am aware of your lineage.
Okay, then what name do you suppose I should take?
You shall assume his name, Jean-Francois Bonnier.
Is this some kind of sick joke? You're insane if you think I'm taking on that psychopathic killer's name. Why on this green earth would I ever want to call myself after the man I dethroned?
Among the nobility, names are oft passed on from father to son, from brother to brother.
But why his name? A name associated with fear and tyranny. Are you trying to hold me before I take my first step?
You will remove the stain his deeds have left upon the name. Lord Bonnier killed his father, brothers, and all their families and attendants, as Ginevra likely told you. Why do you suppose he killed them?
Are you mocking me, old man? He killed them because he was a damn madman.
Lord Bonnier was not the rightful heir.
Excuse me?
He was merely a stand-in to be disposed of and quietly replaced when came time. However, he grew voracious for power, fixated on becoming the Lord himself. So he killed everyone who stood in his way, both the Bonnier family and the attendants who knew the truth. Though he failed to realize that the Lord had sired another son. You, the rightful inheritor of the Jean-Francois Bonnier name.
So that's your So that's her story, huh? I'm not the fake. He was.
When the truth is revealed, the people will be enraptured. And crucially, the damage done to the Bonnier family name will finally be minimized. And after all, the Bonniers were but victims of the charlatan's avarice. As you are to take on the Bonnier family name, it is to your benefit that the reputation you inherit is as unblemished as possible. Furthermore, you have nothing to gain from keeping your present name. No longer are you the man you were in the slums. You must become a new man entirely.
Enough. I need time to think. A day, give me just one.
I cannot. It is a matter of the utmost importance. You must act swiftly, for the opportunity will pass and the tides turn against you anon. The people are on your side for now. However, should you fail to expeditiously demonstrate that you, as their new lord, are likewise on their side, you will find yourself with more than the counts upon your doorstep. You must decide now. Sir.
Alright. I'll swallow my pride. I knew there would need to be some changes before I embark on this road. So this isn't unexpected, just moving quicker than I was prepared for.
A wise decision. Now, before we move on to the next order of business, I must ask, are you physically well enough to remain on your feet for a short while longer? You will need to stand before your people and make a speech. Nevertheless, it is evident that you are wounded from your battle, and 'twould reflect poorly on your accomplishments were you to collapse during your first appearance.
I'll be fine. I can hold myself up long enough to give a speech.
Youth, what a wonderful thing. You must be sure to get your rest once you have finished. I will arrange for the best doctor to come examine you.
Appreciated.
Now then, let us be off. You'd merely repeat after me. Yeah, I do too. He's pretty cool.
Hey, did you hear the new Lord's speech? Panya was a fraud this entire time.
What? No way! But God, I should have skipped work and gone up the manor to see it.
You still got a chance. Go down to the square. The town crier's spreading the word of the whole thing.
Did you hear? The new lord led the charge of the revolution. And he was the real Jean-François Barnier.
I heard. I was there for his speech. He's so young.
And he's in the eyes to boot.
Unfortunately.
To our continuous pain. They say he spent years living in the slums, hiding his true identity. That must have been so difficult for him.
At long last, we're free from our suffering. Free from the terror of Lord Barnier. Cheers for the new lord.
Ooh, yay!
Oh, hey. Miguel.
Hello.
Oh, give me a break. You're no damn lord.
How goes it, Maria? You look like you ain't slept in weeks. Where's your smile, girl? Today's a day for celebrating.
Go fuck yourself.
What?
You're the one who pushed him into this.
Uh-huh. What are you getting pissy about?
You pressured him into this dumbass revolution, into becoming the fucking lord.
Whoa, that ain't what happened at all. Jacob was the one who proposed the whole thing.
Bullshit! He was trying to talk sense into you at the Midsummer Festival!
Gah, for the love of cripes, what crawled up your ass and died? That batshit asshole's gone, and now we've got someone on our side in power. What's there to complain about?
Is there anything in that meathead of yours?
Meat? What was that?
You do realize he can never come back now, right? He's the Lord! He's gone, and he's gone for good! Up there in that manor, all by himself? And you dragged him up to the top of that hill and left him there!
I get that you'd want someone to take this out on, but Jacob was also the one who proposed becoming the Lord.
No.
I didn't push a damn thing on him. He showed up one day with a ring bearing the Barnier family crest, and told everyone he was royalty and had claim to the throne.
This is insane.
It was his words that sparked the revolution.
There's no way. Jacopo is royalty? You need to get a better sense of humor.
My thoughts exactly at first too, but then I saw the crest on the ring. It's the real deal. Did you miss the whole part when he put on the ring in front of everyone before we stormed the manor? His whole spiel about being the heir? That was pretty damn convincing, if I do say so myself.
You seriously think I was there for some stupid pep talk?
Ain't you his friend? I feel like a friend should be rooting for his success, you know? And that's what I'm doing, I can say that much. Anyway, I got a hot date with a couple of kegs, so I'm out of here. Unless you want to come with? We're going to be partying all night long.
Like hell I'm coming.
Just thought I'd ask. Try not to look so sour all the time, Kay. You're much prettier when you're smiling.
Choke on a dick, asshole.
Only one person's dick. Duly noted. Later.
I can't root for him because he's my friend. I know better than anyone. He's in over his head. All I can do is pray for you, Hakopo. Pray that you'll always be the Hakopo we knew. This won't change you. We're still friends, right? Even if we're worlds apart now. Oof! Oof! Hurts! Hurts, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
After giving me just enough time to recover, Odilon quickly got to work instructing me in everything I needed to know to be a lord. My first priority was to revitalize the city, cleaning up the mess my predecessor had left it in. As much as I wanted to ensure that everyone had food and water, it simply wasn't possible to make happen overnight. We will need to significantly expand our farmland, build additional granaries, repair existing irrigation canals, not to mention crack down on crime and disorder. There was so much to do it was almost dizzying, but the last thing I had time to do was whine. That said, none of it could happen with a snap of the fingers. It will take time and manpower, which meant we will have to use existing stores in the meantime. I asked the people, particularly among the upper class, to relinquish ownership of their stockpiles for me to redistribute among the population. That will allow everyone to make it through the transitional period, I figured. Naturally, though, not everyone was happy with the arrangement. But the cries of dissatisfaction were drowned out by cheers of support when I explained that it was for everyone's sake, that we will need to band together to carry the whole city through what will be a rocky transition. As I was patting myself on the back for a job well done, Odilon shook his head and said, "It will hold a year at most." We have enough stores to last at least 3 years, though. 2 if we want to be extra safe.
They will set your manor ablaze long before the stores run dry.
Excuse me, why would they? I'm obviously doing everything in my power to revitalize the city. And I was the one who freed them from the claws of the tyrant.
The people see only the results. Though they accept your promises of improvement now, if, in a year's time, they do not see those words bear fruit, their trust in you will wither away. That you came from the slums is viewed now as a heroic rise to power, but your past will soon be turned against you, used to delegitimize you. You must produce for them tangible results.
God, I knew this wouldn't be easy, but still. It boils my blood to think my predecessor sat around on his ass all day. Did he even accomplish anything in his entire time as a lord?
Cannibalism. I can think of only one truly positive effect of his regime. His support for the arts.
His what?
Surely you have seen the numerous pieces of art adorning his manor's walls, this manor's walls, excuse me, he would often treat himself with works from the finest artists and artisans in the land.
Oh, you mean all those paintings and vases and fancy drapes? Bunch of worthless junk, every last bit of it. None of it will do anything to fill the people's empty stomachs.
Could seem you understand not the value of art.
Well, I did grow up in the slums.
Do you know what purpose art serves?
To make you feel better? It's nice to have around, but not much more than that.
Bribes, my boy. Those who hunger for power similarly hunger for ways to flaunt it, and the singularity of a piece of art fills that role. Some have a genuine appreciation for art, others merely use it as a tool. But nonetheless, skilled craftsmen, artists, and their work naturally gravitate toward those with power. 'Twould be wise for you to consider dressing somewhat less pedestrian soon. Now, we should be able to put the former Lord's possessions to good use in helping you build up valuable relationships.
You mean I start handing out bribes?
Indeed. But remember, they are negotiation tools. You must use them where they provide you the greatest returns.
Negotiation, huh? Alright, I think I see what you're getting at. If I want to revitalize the city in a year, I'm going to need help from my good neighbors. In exchange for provisions and workers, I offer the various counts pieces from Barnier collection. Sound about right?
Precisely. My, you are much cleverer than I would expect of a man from the slums. Now, if only you would become accustomed to this manner of thinking, you could become a fine leader in short order.
I appreciate the concern, old man.
I will dispatch messengers and arrange meetings with the counts so we can be anon. And I hope I do not have to remind you, but you will need to be very careful with your words, Lord Barnier.
Yeah, I know. Do you really, though?
No, he doesn't. You seem quite tired, Lord Barnier.
You think? Every day I have to go meet with someone new, and I spend all my travel time learning how to read and write. It's enough to exhaust anyone.
'Tis necessary nonetheless. Illiteracy will only.
Yes, I know. You said I look tired, and I'm telling you why that is. I never said I had a problem.
I overstepped. My apologies. Your diligence has been invaluable in earning the Count's favor, Lord Barnier. They think quite fondly of you.
Is that so? Because that's certainly not the impression I'm getting. They put on a facade of friendliness, but beneath the surface, they're all laughing, trying to figure out how to best use me, or just outright scoffing. Not a one of them sincerely trusts me. I'm just a pawn to them.
We are all pieces on one another's boards.
What's that supposed to mean?
'Twould be most prudent to consider that unqualified friendship simply does not exist in high society. All interpersonal relationships are built upon a foundation of mutual benefit, save for exceedingly rare, short-lived exceptions. Nonetheless, you should not consider being used as a bad thing. We all climb atop each other's boards, offering ourselves up as powerful piece. And so do they offer themselves to us. Should you wish to survive in high society, you must always ensure your peers see you as a piece worth playing.
That will mean you're putting yourself out there as well, old man.
Indeed, I am your pawn, Lord Barnier. I offer myself to you, and in your using me, I gain this position as consul to the Lord. 'Tis a far more practical and reliable system than one founded on something so uncertain as emotion. Would you not say?
Which is to say, I'm a pawn to him as much as he is to me. I suppose so. Then I too will have to ensure I remain useful, lest I be swept aside and another Barnier brought in to take my place.
Sharp words, my lord. But worry not, for I have no qualms with your performance at present. Now, Lord Barnier, we must discuss your next.
Hold on a sec, will you?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind not calling me Lord Barnier in private? I can understand why you'd want to keep up the charade even when no one's looking, but frankly, I'm just not comfortable with it.
Very well. Then, my lord, it shall be.
Can say I'm surprised he won't use my real name. But still. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you.
Not at all. Now back to business, my lord.
It took long enough, but we're finally starting to see some real progress. Who knew negotiation was so much work?
You should be proud of your accomplishments, my lord. 'Tis hardly an easy feat to amass that much manpower and resources in only 6 months.
Doing better than expected, huh? How's public opinion looking? Reports should be coming in by now, I assume.
Some dissatisfaction, but numbers are within expectations.
Dissatisfied? With what? I've spent every waking moment these past 6 months working my ass off to revitalize the city, and people aren't happy with that? They should be jumping with joy.
My lord, you must understand that it is impossible to satisfy everyone. A degree of discontent is to be expected.
Even so, it should be blindly obvious how much better I'm doing than the previous basket of rainbows and kittens.
All is forgotten on the gentle ebb and flow of time. Past injustices matter little in the face of the present.
It hasn't even been a year.
The people do not genuinely care about you, nor will they ever. They may sing your praises one day and forget about you the next. I believe we have been through this before.
Surely there's someone out there who gets it.
That is wishful thinking, my lord. You could work yourself to your very bones, and the people would merely see you as fulfilling your duty. You must not seek their approval. More will be expected of you, and more will you be the subject of undeserved resentment for the simple reason that you exist in a position of power. Only those in a similar position can understand your hardships. Ultimately, then, you have 2 choices. Either dedicate yourself in service of your people, or mercilessly exploit them like your predecessor.
I won't follow in that bastard's footsteps.
I pray your heart remains true, that you remain a wise and caring lord.
Damn it. So what specifically aren't people happy about?
The foremost is food shortages. This was anticipated, and all we can do is ask them to persevere. The second comes from the upper class.
Go on.
They are, quite naturally, displeased about being made to surrender their stockpiles. It would be prudent to offer them remuneration in the near future.
They're doing well enough for themselves already.
My lord.
I know, just letting off some steam. So I get to go butter up all the rich men in town. Wonderful. The whole idea was to help the less well-off, yet here I am.
I understand that you are not pleased about this, my lord. But do remember, you have more to fear from a few of the upper class banding together than the entirety of the slums. for they wield the most troublesome weapon, an upper-class upbringing. They know precisely who to tell, and what to tell about you to tarnish your reputation in a blink of an eye. And do not placate yourself by thinking the common man will see through the attempts to undermine you. Even if they did, an unlikely supposition, they could do nothing to counter it. They are powerless.
But it was the people at the bottom who pulled most of the weight organizing and executing the revolution.
'Twas an exceptional set of circumstances that allowed the revolution to take place as it did, not the least of which was the Lord's status as unequivocally evil in the eyes of the people. You will not find them all agreeing on anything so readily now.
All right, I get it. The point is, I gotta win over all the rich people or my whole operation is going to come to a grinding halt, right? So as much as it drives me the wrong way, I'll do what I have to do.
A wise decision, my lord.
Is that the last of the complaints?
No, the influx of immigrants has caused an increase in general unrest.
Of course it has. I bring them in to help with the restoration effort and they go and cause their own new set of problems. It's like I'm chasing my tail here.
So long as there are people under your authority, never will you be completely free of strife.
You're telling me. So will increasing the guards present in the city help keep the peace?
Most of those with the training necessary are already deployed, meaning you would need to have new guards trained from the ground up. You will have to mobilize them where they are most needed.
In other words,
tighten your grip on the slums.
So now I've got to take away their freedom.
I know you have a personal attachment to that area, my lord, but you must cast that aside. No longer are you the man you once were. The slums should never have been allowed to fall into such lawlessness in the first place. You will merely be restoring it to its proper state. If you truly wish to bring prosperity to this land, you must eventually scale down and then eliminate the slums.
But if I get rid of the slums, I'll be getting rid of their home.
My lord.
I know. I understand what you're getting at, and I understand that everything you're saying is perfectly logical. Can we hold off on that for a bit? A bunch of guys down there formed this peacekeeper group to, keep the peace. They'd gladly help out if we could talk to them, I'm sure. We can scale up our patrols, but not stepping on their toes. Got it?
As you command, my lord.
Hard to believe it's been a whole year. It feels like I only just started yesterday, yet also like I've been doing this forever.
You are looking somewhat worse for wear, my lord.
Do I? Who am I kidding? You're right. On the other hand, you don't look like you've even lost an hour of sleep this entire year. Goes to show how inexperienced I really am.
Only because he already looks like he's never slept.
I mean, motherfucker is old as fuck. I'm sure he falls asleep at 6 p.m. and wakes up at like 5 a.m. Like, he's not losing any sleep,
True.
he's just dead fucking tired.
True. Very true.
While it is true I have been in this position for many years, I also do not bear nearly as much responsibility as you. I merely stand in the background and offer you small pieces of advice. All the while, you face the crowds directly, negotiate with counts, make dozens of difficult decisions. If there is one thing I have learned in all my years, it is that I could never begin to imagine the weight a ruler must carry. Never mind the one who was never raised to take the throne and thrust themselves into the labyrinth of politics and high society. It would be a greater surprise if the trials had not taken their toll.
That reminds me, Barnea was Lord for a full decade before we took him out, wasn't he? And as I recall, he wasn't as much of a despot early on. If just 1 year has taken this much out of me, how much longer before I'm no longer able to act like a reasonable human being?
Arisa says, he sleeps every time Hakopo leaves the room. I mean, that's what he's doing right now. His eyes are fucking closed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he sleeps standing up.
Probably. No, don't think like that, Jacopo. Actually, forget it. What matters is that we seem to be doing a good job minimizing discontent.
Indeed. You have successfully made it through the first year. The city is decidedly more presentable than it was when you took the throne. There are precious few who could replicate your accomplishments in such a short time, my lord. Sorry. You would do well to take pride in your work.
Pushing to do everything so quickly has taken its toll. The people are worn thin. Slaves are dying by the droves. I still have a ways to go before there's anything I can be proud of.
Screams internally because of that fucking sentence. Slaves are dying in the droves. Really, Jacopo? That's fucked up! Slaves are tool of progress, my lord. Tools do not last forever, and must be replaced regularly.
And you can't build a house with your bare hands, I get it.
I hope Maria fucking stomps her ass up here and beats the fucking shit out of you.
I mean, she tried.
I fucking hope. You learn quickly.
If you remember, like, that's how we finally got to Maria. Like, when we were in that last part, Konetsu and I were like, where the fuck is Maria? And then she tried entering the room that Michelle was in because she thought that was Jacobo's room.
That's right. That's right. Oh, fuck.
Not even a year ago, I would have been up in arms about the number of slaves dying. But now, they're just numbers to me. Apparently my worldview has changed quite a bit.
It's about time we started considering our next step.
Meaning?
Meaning your efforts thus far have merely been toward repairing the damage caused by your predecessor.
You make it sound like all this has just been a warm-up.
His face.
Yeah, well, true though. My apologies. I did not mean to discount your great efforts, my lord. I was simply speaking of the grander scheme.
Yeah, I got that. You want to settle on a direction for how to grow the city, right?
Indeed. The status quo is vastly inadequate for bringing prosperity to this land. And there is no saying when the surrounding territories may cease being so friendly and set their eyes upon conquering us. But of course, you cannot keep your eyes trained outward in fear of attack and allow the land to devour itself from the inside either.
So what you're saying is, it's a balancing act.
Precisely.
So, what kind of advancements do I want to pursue? There is something that's been on my mind. This land is ill-suited to growing crops. When I lived down in the slums, I had no perspective and figured that what we produce here was no different than anywhere else. But now I know better. The grapes used for wine are miserable compared to what I've been served elsewhere, as is nearly everything else we grow. I can only assume the land itself is to blame.
The wine from the south is indeed exceptional. You quite nearly gave me a heart attack when you leapt from your chair in the middle of a meeting, shouting, "This is nothing like the wine from home."
Enough! That never happened. It was my first time tasting anything like it, alright? Anyone would have had the same reaction.
You have grown much, but nevertheless, you're still quite green.
God, I really need to watch myself around this man.
In any case, it would be ideal if we could begin producing higher quality grapes, not necessarily to compete with the South, but enough to be serviceable. Efforts to improve our farmland are underway, although it would take some time before we see progress. Have you any propositions, my lord?
Actually, I was thinking it might be best to cut back on agriculture.
Do elaborate.
What if we were to build the city up into a trade hub of sorts?
Meaning, you wish to open our gates to our neighbors.
Exactly. One thing the city has going for it is its wealth of artisans. But for years we've only ever exported our goods. I want to bring people here to purchase. We reduce taxes for merchants and give them special privileges. Set tariffs and border taxes lower than they are in the capital. And business will naturally find its way here. This land may be less than optimal for farming, but it's more than adequate for trade. We're in a convenient location to serve as a hub for the surrounding realms. Rather than close our borders and wall ourselves off entirely, opening up and making ourselves of value to our neighbors is far more likely to dissuade potential invasion. We're all pieces on one another's boards, isn't that right? Who says that can apply to the entire city? The best way to expand without stepping on anyone's toes is to do so in a way that benefits them as well as us. What do you think?
A rather aggressive strategy you propose, my lord. If I may be so bold, there will be many obstacles to this plan's success. You will need to arrange meetings with the head of each realm you intend to invite, the order and timing of which will be crucial to its success. Furthermore, the influx of outsiders will be a source of much tension among your people.
So you think I'm aiming too high?
You are indeed aiming exceedingly high. Your obstacles will be numerous and precipitous. Nonetheless, obstacles can be overcome. Your exhaustion is nothing compared to the weariness that awaits you down this path. Do be well aware of this, my lord.
You're damn right I am. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in. The Lord's manor sat atop a tall hill. Gazing out, the city stretched before me. Countless columns of smoke rising from the buildings, the people scurrying about like so many ants. From up here, I had the perfect view of the bustle of the city. But I was too far away to feel the life breathing through it. To think I used to be one of those tiny little specks. Thousands of people lived there. They had families, jobs, friends, hobbies. But as much as I was cognizant of that fact, I no longer grasped it on anything more than a conceptual level. It was incredible just how much my view of the world had changed in merely a year's time. I'm going to go out into the world, I said. I thought that clawing my way to the top of the ladder would let me see it, would let me experience it. That with power, I could have the whole world at my fingertips. But reality wasn't so simple. This sure isn't what I was looking for. Hell, I feel like the change is getting tighter around my neck. There's no way to truly grasp the view from this height without climbing up and seeing it for yourself. And that was exactly where I was a year ago, blind to the reality of life in the upper echelons. Fantasizing about a world that didn't exist. Unlike the me of the past, I did have the satisfaction of feeling like I was accomplishing big things. But was that really worth cutting myself off from all my friends? Did those achievements really justify a bloody revolution? Or, I suppose I should ask, was this work valuable enough to me to justify it all? Reminiscing about days long gone wasn't going to help anything, and in fact, it only served to cause me pain. I couldn't return to that time. This was where my quest for power had brought me, and now I had to live out my days as lord of this land, telling myself, day after day, that it was far better than being a powerless slum rat. God, I've been so busy these past few weeks. My eyes are. One day, I'll show you the world.
I'm dead, Jacopo. I'm dead in your fucking tower. My fucking corpse is there, you fucking pleb. Do you ever get tired of saying that?
You've gotta think big. Dream. The world's changing all around us. A life just fighting to make it day by day is hardly life at all. I don't want to spend the rest of my days confined to this tiny little corner of the world.
Well, try not to let your dreams grow so big they crush you.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll just have you sing for me if it ever gets to be overwhelming.
Why would I be there?
Why wouldn't you? It's hard to show you the world if I don't bring you with me. Knowing you still won't know where you want to go. So I'll bring you with me. We can find a place for you together. Pretty good deal, huh?
No, it's shit. I don't need to see the world. All I want is to fucking live. But I fucking died, Jacopo!
Those up for a second there. It feels like those days were an eternity ago. I don't need to see the world. All you want is what, Morgana? What were you trying to tell me?
All I want for Christmas is my two teeth.
Man,